it's kind of fun. We're going to take a little tour of Winnipeg with Charles Burchill. And Charles is an amazing canoeist. Is that what we call you?
Yes.
Not canoeist.
Not canoeist.
No, that's a different thing. We're going to go from bridge to bridge on the painted bridges of cool streets, Winnipeg, by bike, with Charles leading us, because Charles knows all the little shortcuts and the neighborhoods and the shared sidewalks and hidden paths that take us safely from bridge to bridge. And Charles was recommended to me by my friend Steve, who said Charles knows Winnipeg like the back of his bike.
Sure, that'll do.
So Charles has been bike commuting in Winnipeg for over
30 years.
Right. And summer only?
No, winter and summer.
Very cool.
I work right in the south end of the city near the University of Manitoba, and I work right near the Health Sciences.
Okay, so then you would go from one end to the other.
Yeah, so I have one direction, about 20 kilometers, and I'm not really good at going straight home, so going home is between 20 and 40 kilometers.
Somewhere in between there. So the cool thing about Charles is that he was telling me today, when we first met, that during the pandemic, he wanted to make sure he still got his biking in. So even though he was working from home, he would ride his bike about the same distance as if he had been bike commuting, and got to know a lot of the parks and a lot of, right, you said you rode to every single park in Winnipeg and until you ran out of parks.
Yeah, I think, I'm going to say until I got to about 200 parks. So
okay.
I went and looked for the smallest park in Winnipeg and the biggest park, and parks with interesting stuff. And every day went somewhere in the city.
That's so cool. And another really cool thing you did is you marked some of the tricky spots in open maps. So if you're in Winnipeg and you want to know how to get somewhere, please know that open maps may be your best source, because both Charles and some other people have been marking the map to show the shortcuts, the little connections. You were saying the sidewalks in between, right? Thank you.
Good day. Enjoy your walk.
And what's so special about the Seine for you?
The Seine, well, for me, I'm a canoeist primarily, so I canoe on the river all the time. But the other wonderful thing is the thing that we're doing right now is the Seine River Path that runs all the way from the south end with some gaps all the way to the Red River. We're going to go right. Save Our Seine has been a wonderful organization to rehabilitate the river. Weedy species, cleaning up the river, taking garbage out every summer.
Very cool. And now that you are officially retired, you're going to be doing that even more?
Probably.
Sounds good. So do you figure you canoe more than you bike, kilometer-wise?
No. So usually wintertime is for cycling for me. So I ride between 12 and 15,000 kilometers a year. And most of that riding is in the wintertime.
Right.
Because summertime is for canoeing.
Right, exactly.
Canoeing is a little slower, so.
Last year was my first full year with an e-bike, and I put on 9,000 kilometers. And I thought that was incredible, because the year before it was 1,500, you know? So for people that say an e-bike means you get less exercise, to me it was the opposite, because I was putting on so many more kilometers, right?
I'm a big fan of e-bikes just for that reason, is it gets people out and doing stuff they may not have the chance or opportunity, or even riding to work commuting. You just don't want to get to the other end commuting all sweaty and hot.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
for
it gives
me,
you that
it
option.
facilitated.
So we're gonna cross here and then go left across Abinojii Mikanah.
Okay, we're gonna take a little break from talking, then you can lead the way. So for me, if it wasn't for the e-bike, I'm not sure I would have done the winter.
Yeah.
Because to me, the e-bike really allowed me not to worry too much about the wind, you know?
Yep. I'm always wondering, and you can probably tell me, how well does the e-bike deal with the winter? I often think that the batteries might take a hit when it's cold.
So my battery last year, I was riding a Rd.
Okay.
And there was no difference between winter and summer. No, but I'm lucky that I get to park indoors.
Okay.
Now, if you're parking outdoors, I would recommend just bringing your battery. And this year I rode this bike in winter, and again, no difference whatsoever in the life of the battery.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. And this year the bonus was that I had a belt drive, right?
Okay.
So I never had to worry about the chain rusting or.
Yep.
Yeah, it was quite amazing. One thing I did miss this year was I didn't have a throttle. And a throttle helps when you have like a big snowbank that you want to cut
Give
through.
a little bit of extra power through, yeah.
And you kind of just lift your feet and
Nice.
get through like a motorcycle, you know? But I didn't have a throttle this year, so I found that I was working a little bit harder. I was maybe sweating a little bit more, but still nothing compared to no motor, right? So since you're like a major winter cyclist, what's a tip that you would give for someone who's like super nervous about riding a bike in winter?
Can I give more than one?
Can you give me 10?
Okay. So I think I've really appreciated having studded tires.
Mm-hmm.
It's made a big difference. We're gonna go straight across here.
Okay.
So studded tires. Surprisingly, clothing is one of those things that you just need to practice with. Because some people get cold fingers and cold hands. Lots of my friends use pogies in the wintertime, so they're big over mitts that go over your handlebars.
I have those as
and
well.
And they are an amazing change for most people. I was blessed with warm hands and warm feet.
Wow.
So gloves until -25, and then I switch over.
That's
but
crazy.
Pogies are an amazing addition. Your footwear as well needs to be practiced with. That because you're always putting pressure on your feet and you don't move them a lot, they get really cold really quickly. So just making sure you've got good footwear. And for me, do away with, we're gonna go left here. Do away with trying to wear cleats or clipless pedals or anything like that. Go with a snow boot if you've got cold feet.
Right. So for me, my hands get cold, but my feet
right
really freeze. And I wear the warmest winter boots I can possibly get. And I have these heated insoles.
Yep.
You can download the map for this route in the description, and make sure you like and subscribe so we can keep doing more of these.
Hands and boots are a big thing. Overdressing, you really have to be careful. So I always go, if I'm cold for my first 20 minutes, that's okay, because I warm up a lot.
Right.
But I also carry like a big puffy down coat with me, and I just put it in my messenger bag or in my pannier. Because if you break a chain or you have to stop, you have to wait for a bus, you get cold really fast.
You know, that's a really good tip. I never thought of that. When I ride my e-bike, I don't get as warm as I do if I ride a regular bike. So I dress a little warmer anyways, but the tip to bring an extra thing is interesting.
I bring, like I said, I have warm hands, so I bring extra gloves because they get too warm.
Right.
And I bring extra socks and an extra toque. And I've actually gone through several toques because you'll see people on the street that don't have those things, so you just hand them off if you need to.
Perfect. We all have one too many toques at home anyways.
Yes.
That's perfect. That's only 3 tips.
Getting out and doing. Many people are just a little nervous. So if you don't do it, you don't know how warm you get. And if you're always going, oh, I don't want to do it because it's so cold out,
yeah,
you'll never start. Just start.
Yeah, just go for a ride around the block.
And start short and build up. So I try and leave my bike frozen, so I don't have an e-bike.
Right.
So if I bring it in, it gets wet, like the cables and everything get condensation in it.
Interesting.
So I leave my bike outside as much as possible.
Oh.
Because it means much less maintenance.
Interesting.
It's kind of weird.
Well, you know what? It's a really different concept. I never heard of anyone doing that before.
Problem
but maybe
is you have to have a safe place to put it.
Well, right. So
but
what?
Yeah, I find if I bring my bike in, the next day my cables are messed up.
Oh.
So it's
interesting.
And I ride mechanical brakes.
You ride mechanical brakes because
I'm not doing. There's no hills here, so the extra that I get out of fluid I don't need.
Right.
But the ability to do field maintenance, can I call it field maintenance?
I don't know.
Oh, if something breaks, I can fix it.
Right.
Whereas
yeah, with fluid and fancy things.
You need extra stuff.
Exactly, but the thing, I think the reason that we use these disc brakes and fluid hydraulics, I guess is what it's called.
Yep.
Is e-bikes are heavier.
Yes.
And you can pick up a lot of speed, and combining that with the weight,
yeah.
I don't know that a mechanical brake, I think you'd see smoke coming out of a mechanical brake. I always say to people, you know, it's not that different. I think that the thing that really deters people from winter cycling is infrastructure, right? The fact that you don't feel as safe because maybe the path you take in summer isn't cleared. All right, so.
Another one that I was quite happy about was on beside Fermor is this little bridge that goes up. Because the bridge that we're going to go over, which is painted,
oh yeah,
floods
right.
in the spring.
Right, so now there is.
You can actually get across here.
Ah. And that would be the one on the right here, and it connects to where?
Same, they connect up just on the other side.
Oh, okay, so that's the alternative. So this flood, oh, it goes, yeah, it's almost underwater right now. So, this is gorgeous. thank you so much, Charles, for guiding us on this little tour of the south end of the painted bridges. And maybe
Thank you for letting me come along.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Maybe we can do it again for the north side of the city.
I think that would be wonderful. Bunns Creek is beautiful to ride through.
Yes, it is. They have a lot of art there too.
Yes.
We did a tour there one time, so let's hook up and do that. We'll start from here and go all the way there to finish up the Painted Bridges series.